Hey, what is going on, guys? This is SMEP Reviews, and today we are taking a look at the newest studio album from the Vaccines called Combat Sport. Let's get to it. Very early in 2018, the Vaccines released I Can't Quit, the lead single from their fourth album, I believe, and I was blown away. It's not a band that I'd actually been familiar with. Being a critic has definitely allowed me to be exposed to more bands, because before I'd only listen to bands I like, obviously. I'd listen to recommendations from people, but I wouldn't just like see an album cover and click on it very much. Being a music critic has really allowed me to listen to more, and whenever I heard I Can't Quit, I was blown away. It's an amazing use of just a little bit of that glam rock with a more current rock sound, and as I would find out later, the rest of the album had a little bit more new wave, kind of. It's not full-on new wave. I'm not saying this is like another 80s movement album. It's not really. There's a ton of them, and I feel like this album, they're not a band that could pull it off quite as well, because they have kind of that edge to them. Not punk. This is not punk music, but kind of that punkier edge. It's just the kind of feeling with it. They've got a little more edge to them, but they still have those glam rock sounds, indie rock. They definitely span a lot of really interesting genres, and some of my favorite genres, honestly. It really stands out to me as songs that could really fit in the 70s era, as well as the indie rock scene of today, and I really enjoy that. So with I Can't Quit, I was blown away. It really is an excellent song. There's a lot of punch and power behind it, but still just a lot of raw, or a lot of really catchy hooks and melodies, and that is something that's amazing about this album. A lot of bands in this vein, there's a hard balance. You can either go more towards glam rock, and you get really good melodies and really good like stage presence. Not stage presence, that's not exactly what I'm looking for, just a persona. You have a persona, you have to have that I'm all that kind of persona, and that's glam rock. That's how it works. And then there's the punk. I want to say punk. I really don't think this is like full-on punk scene, Dead Kennedys or the Sex Pistols or anything like that. It's just punkier, pop punk. We'll go pop punk. They have a lot of those really simple rock melodies where it's just guitar strumming, maybe 3 chords. Very simple, not complex music, but yet they still have that glam rock, excellent melodies and harmonies, and just an excellent sense of a musical line. Every single line is catchy, it's got a hook, and it really is good. A really strange comparison that comes to my head is something like the Ramones and David Bowie. Now, I'm not saying that the Vaccines are as good as either of those bands. Both are excellent bands that define their genres. But I think that it's a good comparison, because they do have that punk sound, a lot of that energy, that edge, that bite to them, that snark. The snark is probably the best thing to say. They've got that snark, but they still have that persona, that bigger-than-life persona, at least in a couple songs. Some songs they may not play it up as much, but they do have it. There are still some of the slight electronic elements, and it honestly works really well. There are some elements where a certain song just doesn't blend as well into the next song because of this extreme genre whiplash that could occur, but honestly, it's never really affected me. It's a really good album, just front to back. And while there are a couple down points, even then, they're still really good. If anything, as I said, it's just genre whiplash, because you do sometimes go from the little harder songs, like maybe I Can't Quit, that probably is one of the edgier songs, to really light songs that are a little more focused on maybe that new wave or glam sound. And it's very different. But it is still really good. The lyrics here are excellent. It's not like, I'm not saying it's like Roger Waters kind of Pink Floyd writing, where they take very, very deep topics and write extremely well thought out, thought-provoking, either storytelling or just lyrics. It's not like it's perfect, but for a band that's pretty young and still has a lot of good writing capabilities, this is a very good album lyrically, just because there is still a lot of that snark, a lot of that really intelligent, observing people, noticing people's small little things, little quirks that people do, and taking advantage of that. and just exploiting the small little things that are not really exploited. They don't, if they're going to talk about a breakup or a girl or something, they're going to talk about it in a way that's different, in a way that exploits small things in human behavior that is not something that a lot of people just recognize openly. And I really do like that. They're not anti-establishment, but they've got a little bit of it. They're definitely really exciting. This is a band that unfortunately had not been on my radar, but one that I'm really glad I checked out because so much of it is good. Now, some of them may be a little dorkier. Your Love Is My Favorite Band, or They Should Put It On a T-Shirt. A little dorky, but even then, They Should Put It On a T-Shirt honestly is still a little snarky, a little biting. Definitely a little more. Both of those songs do seem to lean a little more towards the 80s kind of new wave sound a little bit. So I kind of think it works because, hey, that's about what all 80s new wave music did. Really weird stuff. Really weird lyrics, music, everything. So it leans a little more towards that. It makes sense, honestly. I like both of the songs, but lyrically they're probably some of the weaker ones just because they are a little different. Especially, I'd say Your Love Is My Favorite Band just because it's a little dorky. I don't really love that one, but it's fine. It's passable. It's not bad. It's just bad in context to the album. Now, honestly, the vocals are excellent. All the instrumentation is wonderful. I mean, as I said, the vocals, they have an incredible range. It's actually really impressive. Not incredible like some like prolific kind of incredible like Freddie Mercury or something. Nothing along those lines. Nothing along the lines of that. But it does still have some good vocals in it. The vocals have bite to it. They have a lot of oomph behind it, and they're really interesting, and they can hit decently high. It's good. I mean, they really do work. The instrumentation's excellent. There's many solos, a lot of guitar and keyboards, which, if anyone knows, I play keyboard. So hearing keyboards are some of my favorite things. I actually do really enjoy that new wavier kind of keyboard sound. Whether the actual song is new wave or not, that doesn't matter, but just kind of the synthesizer sounds rather than just straight up piano. I do really like that. It's just interesting to me, something that I personally enjoy, and it is present here. And then there's guitar, excellent guitar solos, excellent drum work. This album is firing on all cylinders. I'm singing its praises. There are weak spots. There are things I don't really enjoy. A couple notes where, yes, sometimes the vocals aren't quite on pitch, but it still works. It's something that's weird to describe, but it's something that I have said even about Brandon Flowers of The Killers. He doesn't quite get on pitch every time, but he intentionally misses the pitch, and I do believe that happens sometimes. Sometimes I just feel like the pitch was missed, and it just doesn't really work. Besides that, I think it really does work for the most part. The vocals are pretty on point, and when they miss the vocal or the pitch, it's usually on purpose. Sometimes not so much. Sometimes the lyrics are a little dumb. Sometimes the songs are just a little lacking, especially towards the back half. I probably would say the front half is the powerhouse. The back half, still fine, just not quite as good, but still good. And that's what I'm saying. This album honestly is excellent. A really good listen, a really good rock album, and then but a rock album not for just rock fans, for a lot of people. It appeals to a lot. There is slight genre whiplash, but honestly, I really do enjoy it, and that's why I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. What did you guys think of this album? Please let me know down below. Besides that, is there anything I can do to improve my videos? I know it's a little dark today. I didn't quite have time to set up. I just set up the light boxes. I just needed to get going. I got stuff to do. So unfortunately, I did have to do that. But is there anything you guys like to see? Any albums you'd like me to review? Please let me know. Besides that, thank you guys so much. Seriously, it means so much to me. And I'll see you guys later.